All right, let's start rewriting these guys so they look sort of like this up here. So I'm going to write down, limit as x goes towards 0 from the right side. And I'm going to put a big root symbol over here because I'm going to do top and bottom. And what do you get in bottom? You get 4x squared. And the square root of 4x squared, if you're to the right of 0, is just simply 2x. That worked out beautifully. Now, of course, I'm going to look at the top, and I'm going to factor a 3 out from that. And what do you get? 3. And then you get 1 minus the cosine of x. All right? I'm going to keep massaging this guy. And the reason for that, I want to see if I can understand what they're looking for. And I'm going to factor out the 3. So it's really the root of 3. Put this on the outside. And on bottom, the square root of 4 is just 2. Right? So what are you left off with? Well, I'm going to write down a root symbol now, and I'm going to bring in a limit on the inside. So it's limit as x approaches 0 from the right side. And then what do you get over there? 1 minus cosine of x. Not a big issue. And what do you get on bottom? Well, remember I factored the 4 out. Square root of 4 is 2. So I'm still getting x squared. And do I know that guy's limit? I do. That guy's limit is 1/2. So let me write that down for you. So this guy here, I'm going to be careful about it, is equal to root 3 over 2 times the square root of 1 over 2. Let me just continue to simplify that. I see root 3, I see 2, I see 1, I see root 2. I can multiply top and bottom by root 2. All right? What do you get there? You get root 6 on top, and on bottom you can get 4. So I'm going to say this limit over here is going to be root 6 over 4. All right, I think I'm done with that. And if you're done with that, I guess I should look at the key and make sure they got that too. And they did. It's right over here. All right? Did they do the same amount of work? I'm going to say yes, but certainly there's some things that are missing that I just discussed through that. All right? So let's put down the next one. I'm going to erase this over here. And I always say the next one's more difficult because they're approaching the values. Before I forget, I want to write down I got root 6 over 4. Let's do the next one. And really, I'm going to do the same thing, the same exact thing. And I'm going to write this over here. I'm going to write limit as x goes to 0 from the right. Whoops, not from the right, from the left. I don't want to do that again, right? I just did it. So let's put limit as x goes to 0 from the left. And I can start to manipulate this thing over here. And I'm getting a little better. So I'm going to factor a 3 out from the top. And what do you get there? You get, let's see. You get 1 minus cosine of x. And what do you get on bottom? Well, it's going to be 4 and an x squared. All right? And I got troubles already. I'll tell you what the troubles are. The troubles are, let's take a look at that. If I'm to the left of 0, I got negative numbers, right? So really, if you're thinking about that, and I'll write this over here for you, this would be equal to limit x goes to 0 from the left, and you'd have, let's see, root 3 over 2. Maybe I should have wrote that down first, by the way. Limit x goes to 0 from the left. And I'm going to, like maybe a little bit at a time, I'm going to write this still as this over here. All right? Now, the top doesn't matter. It's that bottom thing. It's really the absolute value of x. Right? Now, why do I say that? When I'm taking the square root of x squared, it's really the absolute value of x. But now I realize that I could actually simplify that. And what would I simplify it to? Let me get rid of this over here. I could simplify it to, since I'm to the left of 0, I could just say minus x. Right, I'm going to pull the minus 1 out. And there's a lot of thinking here. And I pulled the minus 1 out over here. I did that. And what do I get now? I'll write this over here. So 1 minus cosine of x over x squared. All right, I'm going to take the limit on the inside now. And what do you get there? Minus root 3 over 2, limit, x goes to 0 from the left. And whoops, you know what? I should do the root first. Sorry about that. I'm going to the inside now. Limit, x goes to 0 from the left. And you're getting 1 minus cosine x. Let me get my eraser. It doesn't look right. 1 minus cosine of x over x squared. And what's nice about that is I know that guy's limit is 1/2, all right? So let's write this down. What do you get? Minus root 3 over 2, and it's going to be the square root of 1/2 now. What do you get over there? Minus root 3 over 2. Boy, it's deja vu all over again, isn't it? Multiply top and bottom by root 2. And what do you get there? You get, let's see, minus root 6 on top, because root 3 times root 2 is root 6. We get a minus sign over there. On bottom, we get 2 times 2, which is 4. So minus root 6 over 4. Let me write that down for you. This is going to be equal to minus root 6 over 4. What's my conclusion right now? This is a D&E. I consider it to be a more difficult question, by the way. And, you know, certainly you might have different ways of doing it, but the bottom line conclusion is what those two limits are. We did that. We showed it's this over here. Get my eraser out. Going to highlight that. We got this thing over here, and this is D&E. Thank you.